one more lap away from the completion of one of sport's greatest comeback stories.
Last lap underway then here in the Japanese Grand Prix. Comeback almost fully loaded for Marc Marquez. He has a good long look over his left shoulder. He will not barely see Tranmere. What must be going through the mind of Marc Marquez right now? What a story his is. A story straight out of Hollywood, isn't it? A triumph of the human spirit in many respects over adversity. His own refusal when the odds stacked against him seemed insurmountable to throw the towel in. He might have lost 4 years of his career after Jerez 2020, but he lost none of the hunger, lost none of the desire, lost none of the speed, and lost none of the belief, did he, Marc Marquez? Through turn 7 he goes then now on this last lap, halfway around one of the biggest laps of his career. He just simply would not give up, would he? He simply would not be beaten. Jerez changed him, but it did not defeat him. There's been the surgeries and setbacks, tears and fears, a journey of recovery and discovery, a career reborn at Ducati as he reinvented himself as a person and a rider. Resilience matched by pure brilliance. There have been countless dark days and dozens of doubts, but there can be no doubt that we have witnessed a genius return to the peak of his powers in 2025. Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, Monday sporting titans who've been hailed for producing amazing comebacks. Now Marc Marquez surely has to be mentioned in the same breath. From all the pain to the pantheon of global sporting icons, Pecco Bagnaia will win the Japanese Grand Prix, but from career-saving surgery in Minnesota back to the top step of the podium Motorland, the crowning glory here in Motegi is the comeback to top all comebacks. Marc Marquez is the 2025 MotoGP World Champion. He hit rock bottom, but he's risen to the top once again and clinches his 7th MotoGP World Championship. Now the emotion, all the tears will come flooding out. He has done it. Comeback loading, comeback fully loaded. Overcome by emotion. What a story has been as far as Marc Marquez is concerned. He laps up his first World Championship in 6 long years. One of the first riders to congratulate him is a person who has seen all of the dark times that Marc has gone through since Jerez in 2020. I think Marc himself has said without Alex by his side, he would not have completed this journey. This is going to feel immense. This is going to feel like the weight of the world has been lifted off his shoulders, because finally, after 6 long years, we can say once again in the same sentence, Marc Marquez, MotoGP World Champion.
He's made a career out of winning world championships, but through all the dark days of surgeries, of broken arms, of diplopia, he may have never thought this day would come again. You can hear him screaming under his crash helmet, a day he never thought would come again. From career oblivion, it felt like, back in 2020, to the rarefied air of greatness once more. A magnificent 7th world title, the undisputed champion of MotoGP in 2025 is Marc Marquez.
He's done it. He's done it the hard way. Nothing will ever be able to take it away from such an amazing comeback. I'm sure he can't quite believe it himself. There were times in those 5 years, your mind goes back to the Sachsenring Grand Prix in Germany in 2023, where he had the 5th crash of the weekend, the morning warm-up session, slumped over the trackside Armco, beaten, destroyed, almost pushed into retirement by that unruly Honda. Even the genius, mercurial talent of Marc Marquez could not keep Honda at the front of MotoGP battles. He wanted to enjoy racing again. All the injuries had seen him fall out of love with the sport that he has loved since he was able to walk and crawl. But now Marc Marquez stands tall as the world champion once again. Ducati's 4th world champion with Casey Stoner, Pecco Bagnaia and Jorge Martin. Let's get the thoughts of the boss, Gigi Dall'Igna, as we can hear the screams once again, loud and proud from the new world champion. Down to you, Jack.
Gigi, you moved heaven and earth to have Marc on your motorcycle in 2024. For so long, he stopped you from winning the World Championship. Now he's just won it on your bike. How do you feel?
I feel fantastic. I'm really happy for all the team, for him, because he did a fantastic job to recover for him injury, and so, you know, I'm really, really happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Jack. Thanks to Gigi Dall'Igna, who made that call, didn't he, himself, when there was all those discussions behind the scenes. Martino Marquez for the prized factory Ducati seat in 2025. A tough decision, but one right now which has been fully vindicated by the number 93. The 32-year-old Spaniard then does indeed become the 6th rider to win a MotoGP title for 2 different factories. Just listen to that list of names: Jeff Duke, Eddie Lawson, Casey Stoner, Valentino Rossi and Giacomo Agostini. What a story. What a journey has been, not just for Marc, but all of those close to him who have seen him suffer so much in recent years. You can hear the emotion. You can almost feel the tears running down his face. What a moment. What a rider. What a talent. What a world champion. Back to his brilliant best. And now it's time for the celebrations and the party to begin.
A whole life marked by a number. How many poles? How many victories? How much are you worth when they reduce it all to a number? But a number can't tell an entire story. Behind a number, there's more than a title. There's more than fear, more than sacrifice, more than a heart that never gives up. Behind a number, there's more than a comeback. If they want to know what a number really means, I'll tell them what's behind it.
I'm not trying to prove to the people. I'm trying to prove to myself that I can really do this.
Vamos indeed. Completely overcome, completely overwhelmed with emotion is Marc Marquez. The comeback king has taken the throne once again as the MotoGP world champion. You would need to have a heart of stone not to be moved right now by the images, these moving images which we are watching. The coronation of the comeback king here. Just on the right-hand side of your picture is Jose Luis Martinez, one of Marc's real close confidants. He's been at his side for over a decade. Here comes the world champion's bib for the first time in 6 years on the red Ducati, now at the end of the red carpet. And it's time to paint Motegi red, isn't it? As Marc Marquez toasts World Championship success once again.
Competing and winning is his oxygen, and Marc Marquez can breathe again. He's got the taste for competing, and he now has that sweet taste of winning. The numbers don't even come close to telling the story. It is much more than just a number. 7 MotoGP World Championships, 9 Grand Prix World Championships after his dominant runs in Moto2 and 125s. What must be an overjoyed Davide Tardozzi with Pecco Bagnaia's victory today and Marc Marquez's title glory. Davide Tardozzi is speaking to Jack.
Davide, I think more than a number sums it up perfectly. The comeback is complete.
It's the perfect day. Win the champion here in Japan and having Pecco back like he did yesterday and today is something amazing. It's something that we can't even dream, and I think that is something that we will keep in the heart and in the mind forever.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
He has certainly won the hearts and minds of so many MotoGP fans, hasn't he? Now in history, in terms of Premier Class titles, only Italian icon Giacomo Agostini has won more than Marc. He moves level now on 7 with Valentino Rossi. A magnificent 7. He's in 7th heaven right now, is the number 93. He's got the special world champion bib, more than a number. He's got the special world champion helmet, and now he's going to take the accolades and a raucous reception from the paddock as he comes into pit lane. There is the Gresini Ducati team, and he stops, understandably so, because it might have only been for 1 season and 20 Grand Prix, but the Italian-based team did so much to ignite the fire once again in the belly of Marc Marquez. Fabio Quartararo, yeah, a former MotoGP world champion, comes to offer his congratulations.
Well, ultimately, we're talking about 22 competitors who risk their lives up against each other. They all recognise what Marc Marquez has put into this.
Once again, he completely breaks down as he is mobbed, as he is greeted by the factory Ducati crew. Marco Rigamonti right in the heart of it, his crew chief. An embrace from Gigi Dall'Igna, Gemma Pinto, with the kiss of congratulations. Julian Marquez there, his father as well. Only they know, only they really know, Marc's inner circle, just how brutally tough some of the days in the last 5 years have been. Grazie Ducati. You get a feeling, given the form and the spectacular performances he's produced already this season in 2025, that it's MotoGP title number 7. It ain't going to be the last if he carries on at this rate. He meets and greets all of his Ducati crew. Manuel Poggiali there on the left-hand side, a 125 and 250cc world champion. He was a heck of a rider back in the day, wasn't he, Poggiali? Now a rider coach, working with Marc Marquez and Pecco Bagnaia. Of course, let's not forget Bagnaia. He produced his best race and his best weekend of the season. It will largely be a bit of a supporting role for the Italian as we crown a new world champion, but take nothing away from Bagnaia, because he was phenomenal here in Japan. Yeah, he can start breathing, he can start relaxing. Claudio Domenicali, I think, is on the phone from Borgo Panigale back in Europe. Of course, the Ducati CEO, 4th rider to win a world title for the Bologna brand. And I don't think this is going to sink in for quite some time. It'll probably be after Valencia, the final Grand Prix of the campaign, when he really does start to process what has been a magical 2025 campaign.
Marc, from Jerez 2020 to now, 6 long years of pain, of suffering, of sacrifice, but you are MotoGP world champion again. Can you just describe your emotions looking back on that journey and having completed the greatest comeback in sporting history?
No, it's impossible even to speak. Every time when I don't want to remember what I pass away, just want to enjoy the moment, but it's true that was difficult, was super difficult. But now I'm in pace of myself, how is path and me, it's okay. So I did a big mistake on my career to come back too early, and then, you know, I fight, and I won again, so I'm on pace.
Huge congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Just what a comeback this has been. He's not a rider too often throughout his career who's really been happy to share his emotions in public. And as we mentioned, you need a heart of stone not to be blown away by these scenes. There is Dorna CEO Carmelo Espeleta about to hail the MotoGP hero once again as the World Championship celebrations commence here in Japan.
Ahora me acuerdo de la clínica que se ha luchado. Te sigo. Gracias. ¿Cómo va? Hostia. ¿Cómo va? No me acuerdo. A ver. Ahora sí.
And there you go. That is confirmation of the coronation. The comeback king is back on the throne as Marc Marquez once again adds his name to the Tower of Champions. He is the world champion. Campione del Mundo once again, the 32-year-old Spaniard. What a journey it has been. What a story. You could write 25 books about his season in 2025. Surely there's going to be a movie one day made about this remarkable return to prominence for a rider who just would not take no for an answer. He would not accept that his best days were behind him. You think of when he was coming round from the anaesthetic of that surgery in Minnesota, wondering whether that career-saving surgery had worked, whether he would get moments back like this. There is part of his backroom team, a physio who's been working very, very closely with Marc. Also moved to tears, I'm not going to lie. I've got a bit of a lump in my throat here in the commentary box as well. Second place in the Japanese Grand Prix, but when it really matters, P1 in the World Championship.
The greatest on planet Earth in MotoGP.